Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to LP. My name is Edgar and today we're looking at the W211 Mercedes E240. Apart from humans, if something looks good, chances are it's good, right? Bring that same thought to the 202 to 209 Mercedes E-Class W211 codename. The designers of this car understood the assignment and it looked good, which was a welcomed change from its predecessor, the W210. The W211 underneath the skin had its shortcomings, to say the least. This E-Class managed to make the BMW and the Audi rivals look outdated during this generation. The BMW 5 Series was more sporty, the E-Class was more luxurious, and the Audi was in between, like Alonso. You can get the E-Class in many shades of grey, shapes and sizes, as a 4-door saloon, 5-door station wagon, 2-door convertible, and a coupe. Wagons have more load area and feature numerous safety features such as tie-down hooks and cargo barriers. Models include: in 2006 the E-Class got a facelift. Mercedes took extensive measures to improve the quality of the E-Class because they know they skimped out on the pre-facelift W211. Car guys would sport the front bumper, V-shaped grille, and revised headlights, but that's about it externally. Handling and steering was improved, as were the engines, and the adaptive braking system borrowed from the S-Class. Originally, the Classic and the Elegance trim levels got a soft riding setup, while the Avantgrade got a 15mm lower stance and a stiffer ride. From the rear, I think this year E-Class looked really elegant, with nice simple lines and curves and this simple shape. If I remove the badge, you'd still mistake the car for an E-Class. And from the bottom, as you can see of the bumper, there are no exhaust ports showing because they're underneath the bumper, facing down. The key, there. Open the boot, you get just one button, press a button, it pops. In this year model of this car, it had the largest boot of any saloon car in this period. One other thing that gets to spoil a lot in these cars is your boot liner mechanism. For this car, it's out, but it's easily fixable by having tabs underneath to hold the bottom of the boot liner, or just gluing it onto the boot liner, and that opens. So normally it would flip up and you can hook it there to hold up your boot liner. So that's the whole reason why it's there. So you get a full-size spare wheel, which is really good for those emergency times, and you get your toolkit to remove and put back your spare wheel. Another thing you get at the back here is your battery. Your battery is at the back. Sorry about that. This audio got a bit choppy, and being me, I was too lost in the moment to notice. Motorist journalism for you right there. Anyway, what I was trying to say is why the batteries in the boot. It's there because there's no room in the front. Some cars may have the batteries in the boot for weight distribution. Jump-starting the car when the battery is dead is done from the front. You can do it from the back, but you'd have to let it charge up for about 10 to 15 minutes to be safe. You can Google the specific place to jumpstart your car, but it's always on the driver's side and at the bonnet for Mercedes. That's the back. Let's get to the back seat and see what we have there. Getting into the back, the door opens nearly 90 degrees, and that's great for entry and exit of the car. The car is relatively old, but the leather still feels really good. It has a bit of wrinkles here and there, which is normal. Age is the biggest, for everyone. It feels quite comfortable, and it has this zero gravity seats where you get enough thigh support and your backrest is inclined just enough for you to be comfortable here at the back. I'm sitting in a comfortable position. I have enough leg space. The foot space, the underneath foot space is quite big again because the seat is raised up, so I can slide my feet under and be comfortable. One thing that happens to older Mercedes is you find the roof liner usually gets loose and droops down a bit, like the one we have here. To droop down a bit, and that's an easy fix. Just go to your body shop, they remove the headliner, put new gum on it, and it sticks. And this is common for most German cars. On the door side, you have soft touch material at the top, a nice wooden veneer on your door handle area with the chrome on your door handle, leather on where you rest your hand, and a bit of space on your door cards that's lined in felt, so whatever you put in here won't make noises as the car is going down the road. For safety, you get curtain airbags at the top, and you get door side airbags on the side. For comfort in the center seat, the bottom part where my bum is is soft, but the seat is reserved for smaller people or children, because for someone my size, my shoulder goes nearly quarter way of the back seat. Having 3 others at the back will be a squeeze. The transmission tunnel is quite big, being that the car is primarily rear-wheel drive, and most rear-wheel drive cars are like that. You get a big transmission tunnel where your drive shaft goes to the rear to power the rear wheels. Like the Mark X I did some time back, I'll put it up here. I'm not comparing this to a Mark X, they're 2 worlds apart, but the Mark X is rear-wheel drive and this is rear-wheel drive. So you can see that there. For space, being that the headliner has drooped a bit, my head or my hair is touching the headliner. But if I push it up, I have about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of headspace, and I have still enough leg space with this seat pushed back all the way and this other seat on my driving position. For storage, you have back seat pockets on both front seats. You get a bit of space here, as I said, on your door pockets. You open that, you have more space here where they put the Mercedes manual that's in its own leather wrapped book holder, let's call it that. Space here is lined in felt and big enough to hold the owner's manual. Your cup holders are over-engineered. It pushes out, then raises up as it gets fully out. And when you push it back in, it lowers down and slides under the armrests. Over-engineering. One thing with old Mercedes is that they're delicate. Plastics get brittle and all the electrics will either have some issue or be sensitive. So be careful on what you touch, not to break anything that you're trying out when you're looking for an older Mercedes. Don't leave the owner of the car with more issues than he already has. That's what I mean. With the sunshade here at the back, it worked once and I'm going to do it again because I know it can get jammed and I don't want to have that on me. For the rear headrests, if the driver wants to see more of the rear, they have one button at the front on the center console. You press that, the headrests drop. And if you have anyone here at the back, you just pull it back up and have the headrest. One thing I didn't show you is that you get an ashtray. As I said, you have to be delicate with these older cars. See the spring that opens the ashtray has gone dead over the years. It's wobbly a bit, so be careful again. You get your own personal ashtray here on the side. You'll be playing who fills the ashtray faster as the driver is being turned into a smoker chini ya maji. So that's the back seats of the Mercedes. Let's get to the front and see what we have there. Getting to the front. The front door opens again wide. The doors in this car are quite big. It opens really wide and have a really big wide opening here. So getting in is easy. Look at all that space. You just slide and drop in. Easy. The door feels solid. First things first, what do I see in the front of this Mercedes? I see a lot of worn materials, like the leather on the door side here is worn, the steering wheel is worn, and one of the wood veneer here at the center has come off. But this is just because of age again. The driver's seat will have more wear and tear than all the other seats because it's used more often than not. The seat feels like it's pushed all the way back, and the seat control to bring it back forward doesn't seem to work. The backrest one works and the headrest one works, but the bottom one doesn't work. The thing with luxury cars is when they're new, they're really good. Even after like 8 years, they're really good. But once they rack in 10 years and above mark, the electronics start to fail here and there. One, because of the heat. Two, because of maintenance or regular maintenance. The different electronics in different places need to be checked on, cleaned, and put back so that all the electronics actually work as they should. When they're still new, perfect, you'll enjoy the car. But once they start deteriorating, the amount of work you'll have to put in one of these cars is a ton. How are the materials? The wood veneer, some of the pieces have actually faded out, and that's just because of the direct sunlight hitting the clear coat at the top and basically cooking it. That issue I had with the newer E-Class. I'll put it somewhere up here so that you can watch it. I still have a bit of that issue, just kidogo tu. The steering wheel feels great even though it has worn out. But again, this is easily fixable. Either you get it restitched or you have an aftermarket steering wheel cover put on your car. As I said at the back, with older Mercedes, trims and bits and pieces of the car are very delicate because the plastics get hard and brittle, so you can easily break things when you touch them. I'm being very careful because I know things can break here and there. So you guys tell me, with the car being as delicate, do you think Mercedes have a shelf life? You know how you can have an expiry date to something? Do you think Mercedes or this newer Mercedes have a shelf life? So you guys tell me down on the comments below. I would like to know what you guys think. Center console, you get your air conditioning controls at the top. You have your infotainment system and controls here at the center. You get your phone dial pad on your right and your media controls on the left. Actually, this car came with the option of a phone back when. You could get your own Mercedes phone, which you could make executive calls or make big business deals while driving off office or to office. For this one, it's not here. Maybe the owner put it in the house. I don't know. At the bottom, you have your ESP off, which is just your electronic stability control, the headrest drop button, your hazards, your lock and unlock, and button to lower your sun visor on your rear view window. Mercedes had this sensor bit where the beeping and the lights would increase to tell you how close you are to an object through the sensors at the front and at the back of the car. So it's easily visible with your rear view mirror. You just know how close you are through the lights, unlike what you have currently with the whole screen and the camera at the back of your car. Which one do you think was better? This old Mercedes system, or do you think the newer screen and camera combination is a better fit for reversing and parking to smaller places? You got the option of the sunroof, which is really great if you want to have more light coming to the car. Mercedes like this is usually a failure point. Most of them at this age tend not to work. I haven't tried this one yet, and the owner didn't tell me anything about it. So just to be safe, I won't open it because I don't want to get stuck, because that is a failure point and they usually leak poorly. So you'll find water leaking down on your A pillar, on both A pillars, if the drainage is blocked somewhere, and that can kill a lot of electronics here inside the car. And I'm impressed the dashboard is still holding up pretty well. There are no cracks or visible wear and tear on the dashboard, which is a plus really, and one thing to not worry about when you have this specific E-Class. If you own this car, tell me in the comments below, what did you put on that space? So that's the front seat. Let me open the bonnet and see what you have under that Mercedes star. Opening the bonnet is just one latch here at the bottom, and this one seems to be broken, but you pull on that, it opens. If you pull on the bonnet, you get this come out. You pull on that and you lift your bonnet. Engine choices are numerous, from 4, 6 or 8 cylinders, fueled by petrol or diesel, with the latter rising in popularity in the recent years. After 2004, the 3.2-litre E320 models were replaced by the E350 and its 3.5-litre V6 engine. Manual gearboxes are still to be avoided. MPG rating as listed. Beware, Mercedes of this age are just as unpredictable like adolescent teenagers. One day they are good, and the next day they wish you weren't their parents. Lastly, ask questions. If you see something is off, ask. Common issues as listed again. Just know that your brake system is not as reliable. If the car has air suspension, it will fail and give you headaches. The radiator might fail and mix the coolant with the transmission oil, and so on. Keep in mind that genuine parts are expensive and service costs are high in some countries. If the car is not properly maintained, it may be very expensive to find the issues and fix them. The W211 E-Class is a handsome car with a comfortable ride, good sound system, and enormous boot space. If you are considering to buy this model Mercedes, make sure to do your research and inspect the car carefully. Keep in mind, the E-Class W211 is a high maintenance car that can be very expensive to maintain unless you plan on doing the repairs on your own. Actually, you better aim to learn how to work on it yourself. While the 3-pointed style is desirable, remember that this is a Mercedes-Benz, and if you don't spend to maintain the car, huge repairs will come up and character development awaits you. It can be a very expensive car to own. Have I said that enough times already, or I continue? My recommendation would be either a facelift W211, 207 or new model year, as they were designed better and many issues were resolved for these years. But still, beware. Thanks for watching, and if you've come this far, hey, click on the like and subscribe buttons, and see you guys on the next one.